We are now going to be getting into an artist called Elephant Revival. Is this a Tool cover? The song is Schism, live at the Mission Ballroom. Let's get into it and see what's going on. Mate, I'm having a little time here. Firstly, before I get into this, I've got to mention the flowers in that man's braids are just spot on. And secondly, covering Tool is no mean feat. It's not something I believe is done very often, and you are really taking on a challenge by doing so. As Art has pointed out in the chat, interesting timing, to say the least. This is what Tool does, is they mess around with time signatures like nobody else, and they do it to beautiful effect. It's never kind of forced or unnecessary. It's interesting and curious and keeps you thinking and keeps you engaged. And their Tool is a band I've recently got into, and I've gone into them, like getting really deep into their stuff, doing a lot of reactions to them, because every song I listen to is a real journey. It's this like immersive experience you get into, and you can see that every musician on the stage is really feeling that. And it's really nice to hear Tool performed with a female lead vocalist. I think she's bringing a really nice kind of flavor to this. And she's doing a good kind of, the lead singer is called Maynard, and she's got his vibe with her voice. She's got his kind of sound, but doing it her way, and it's perfect. Like if you're gonna hear a Tool cover, you kind of want it to sound like this, if that makes any sense. Like, this is how a Tool cover should be done. It's really, really beautiful. They're adding these kind of these different kind of instrumental aspects to it, like with the sort of electric cello, E-cello, you know, and they've got was it an E-double bass they've got going on as well, and the sort of percussions. It's really, really curious. Anyway, let's jump back in. I don't want to disrupt the flow too much. using a theremin to beautiful effect there, using electromagnetic impulses by moving the hand to and from. I'm not going to pretend I'm some kind of theremin expert, but incredible instrument and known as one of the hardest instruments to master. But I love how he's kind of doing it in synchronization with the guitar, with the pushes and everything. Really, really, really cool. I love that, and just a really fun way to bring that kind of trippy spaciness, to the to the live stage, in like, because they've got all these organic elements, and they're kind of using them in these really interesting spacey ways. But I think a theremin coming in there was a really nice spacey flavor that was fit very, very nicely. Get out of here. Elephant Revival, ladies and gentlemen. Who are these guys? That was an incredible cover of Tool's Schism. Absolutely an amazing live performance with so many textures and layers to it. So, just that building rhythm. It just grew and grew like this rising wave. I got so into that. I don't know about you guys, but I was. It's just the mesh of all of it, you know what I mean? All just coming together, all these lovely little rhythms, and just filling them in between, and the viola and the cello, and just yeah, 8 drummers to cover Danny. Danny is known as the octopus drummer because the ridiculous beats he's able to perform, compose, are just insane. So yeah, I do think if you are going to cover Tool, you need more than one percussionist going on. Get as many as you can together. Build an army of percussionists if you're going to cover Tool, and that's exactly what they did. They nailed that. That was so cool. And Tool is one of those bands that it's just like, I'd never really considered them ever being covered, you know. As I say, like that's how it's done right there. That was a masterclass. And I'm very intrigued to know what their their kind of sound is as well individually. I'd like to hear one of their originals. So clearly a wicked band. Every single one of them incredibly talented and such a tight performance. Massive crowd. So they've obviously got a huge following. Elephant Revival. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we think? That was beautiful. That was Elephant Revival, Tool, Schism. Cover live at the Mission Ballroom. Beautiful.